my beautiful children. Yes, I am back with the daily trade journals. I'm sorry, I know I haven't uploaded in like 5 days. I've been busy, but I'm still alive. Also, haven't uploaded any backtesting video. I really just wanted that vlog to get out. Go watch it. But I know it's been 5 days, so leave me alone. Anyways, a lot has happened in these past 5 days. Well, okay, let's be honest, nothing has happened in these past 5 days. But we're going to recap today's winning trade. You guys don't know this, but I did end up buying 3 more evals without telling you guys and passed them. Activation fee. Activation fee. Activation fee. But we're going to go into yesterday's trade and today's trade. I only took 2 trades this week. I've really been focusing on higher probability trades. But we'll go into how I ended up breaking my rules yesterday in order to make more profit than I should have. And today's beautiful entry. But yeah, let's start off with Monday. What day is it today? Today's Thursday. Okay. I really could have just gone here, but okay. And my dark reader thing isn't working. I'm pissed off, so I can't even have dark mode on Forex Factory. But let's get into it. Today is Thursday. Didn't end up trading Monday or Tuesday. And I was antsy to trade. I'm not gonna lie. I've really been wanting to trade since I missed Friday's move to the downside. Shoot, did I even make a video on this? I made a vid. Tell me I made a video on this, right? Right? Okay, I did make a video on this. Yeah, so since I missed that move to the downside on Friday. But starting off on Monday, we're just gonna do from Monday all the way to now. Monday, no clear entry, so there have been reversals. The model has been working perfectly. I'm pretty sure we SMT'd off of these lows. However, I don't think I've dropped this sauce yet, but I don't take a change of state of delivery or micro change of state of delivery unless there is a body close below the wick we are SMTing or taking out, or the high we're taking out. So for example, like here on ES, I wouldn't have, if I wanted to go short, theoretically, let's say there was an entry, right? Change of state of delivery entry. I would not go short here unless there was a body closure above this wick right here. So the body closure would have had to been above here or here. The less wick we have, to me, that's higher probability confluence. There's a lot to it that I just can't fully explain yet because I don't fully know how it works, but I know it works. Repeatedly. Um, I'll try to go on NQ and find another example. I guess we could use today. Okay, we can't use today. But I think that's for another time. That's for the $3,000 mentorship. Yeah. So DM me. We have 2 out of 6 spots open. If you understand the reference, you understand the reference. Um, 2 out of 6 spots under the mentorship left open. You'd have to be on trading TikTok to understand that. Anyways, so Monday, no clear entry. This was a clear change of state delivery to the upside right here. However, like I said, I basically have to see the closure below the previous wick. Why? Because that's what my backtesting data showcases. Even though it was such a clear long to the up, this was literally A plus long to the upside. It was just entry that didn't allow me to execute. And guess what? I followed my rules. I was like, hey, if I'm only going to be focusing on taking A plus setups, let me at least this week and maybe a little bit into next week focus on taking the highest probability setups so I can put myself, or so I can at least open my mind to understanding what the highest probability setups look like. So when I do trade my accounts or whatnot, I know when to step away from low probability conditions because I'm fine waiting. There's a lot of speculation that's like, oh, waiting is bad. Waiting's not bad. And a lot of people think that's because you go on TikTok and you see people winning every single day. Like you look at some people's top step dashboard, it's green, 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 green. They literally trade every single day. Now, I like doing that. I like seeing that. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with the counter to that, is how you would say. I'm not quite sure. It's early. It's 7 a.m. But there's nothing wrong with the opposite of that. Waiting for a couple of days, focusing on the highest probability setups and having green, no trade, green, green, maybe a loss, win, no trade, green. Like there's nothing wrong with that either. And so I was like, hey, I'd rather have green, no trade, green, green, or no trade, green, green, no trade, green, than red, 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 green, green, red, green. And then have the RR cancel out. Anyway, I'm yapping now. So didn't end up taking this. Clear longs the upside, same model as always. You guys should know the model by now. It was the entry that didn't provide. Tuesday. What happened on Tuesday? Tuesday, there was a scuffed change in state of delivery to the upside. I'm actually going to show my friend's chart for this. Because, he caught longs too. Look at it, he caught longs while watching my vlog. Get you some friends that will catch trades. I needed to focus. Oh my gosh. Get yourself some friends that'll catch trades while watching your vlogs. Oh my gosh. Dang, you see that right there? Bang. So, I didn't even show his trade. Sorry, I know this is, but I'm just showing you guys I guess it was basically the only entry. He took it, I didn't, because I thought it was scuffed. Oh my gosh, I deleted all my screenshots to save storage, so it is completely gone, never mind. But, yeah, there was a very, very scuffed change in state of delivery to the upside, and there was an SMT. You could have taken this. This was super low probability, though. I told him in text messages. I wrote it in the Discord, I would have showed you guys, but it was in messages, and I'm on my PC right now. But I told him, since it was so scuffed, I was not looking to take nothing that was low probability. I was really just focusing on like 3 high probability trades. That's it. That was around here. So this was the change in state of delivery on ES. It was clear on ES, but still super scuffed. If you look at this compared to my normal entries, you'd be like, what in the world is going on? And that's what I want to help emphasize with you guys with your trading. If you have a model that you execute upon, don't start executing on lower probability setups and messier setups, because that will mess up your data. Even if I won this trade, that starts to ruin my data because I'm throwing in lower probability setups into them. Now, you will take lower probability setups. However, what I mean by lower probability setups right now in this example, I mean messier entries that aren't as clear. It will begin to instill lack of clarity within your trading, because you'll look at this and then you'll look at a clear A plus setup or something, and here, like this and a clear A plus setup, and you'll be like, oh yeah, they're the same thing. No, they're not the same thing. They're completely different. The quality of them are completely different. The confluences, yes, are there, but the quality of the entry has to be there as well. So that's why I didn't end up taking it, and I will continue to reinforce that. I could care less if I would have won on this trade. I could care less if I would have won on this trade and lost on the next 2 trades for this week. That's what I'm emphasizing. I'd rather have you lose on 2 trades that are actually your proper entry, proper confluence criteria, whatever the case is, right? Than take a crappy trade that is, but the entry's meh. Do you understand? So that's all this is about. That's all it's about, right? That's why I continue emphasizing to you guys clarity. This month's focus and next month's focus is clarity. That's our word of the month. So didn't end up taking the long to the upside. Was completely fine for that. I did have clear internal draws. I always do, for the most part. But now let's go on to the two trades we ended up taking Wednesday and Thursday today. So Wednesday, how we ended up breaking our rules. Now at this point, I was antsy. I was like, I need a trade. Like, you know when Spider-Man well has like the black spider suit on. It's like, yeah, he's trying to take it off. Yeah, I was kind of like that. For you guys that don't know, ripping off Venom. Last Dance was so bad. Oh my gosh. Venom Last Dance was horrible. I said black spider suit. I should have just said Venom. I high key forgot Venom was like. I know, yeah, Venom's canon. I just kind of forgot he was in. Like, yeah, so here you go. This is how I kind of felt the trade. Yeah, I needed a trade. Last Dance was horrible, by the way. Let There Be Carnage was a whole lot better. 40 is too nice. We got to dump it down to like 20. But yeah, that's kind of how I felt the trade. So yesterday, what ended up happening? More importantly, ended up looking to see SMT with these daily highs. We ended up finally taking out all-time highs. Yay! God bless America. See, I don't know if I could say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. We dropped a bomb on Iran, which I seen the images. What did we do? Tickle them? But I guess this has to be like government propaganda. My YouTube channel is probably gonna get shut down for saying that. Hopefully not. YouTube, please don't shut me down. I'll just trim out this segment. But yeah, and now we're at all-time highs. I'm not complaining. God bless America, right? So we ended up SMTing with these all-time highs yesterday. So it looks something like this: bang, bang, clear SMT. I wanted to see the daily SMT get validated. We were due for a reversal. High key, we were due for a reversal. Nothing on the hourly really besides those lows, but those lows are also on the 15-minute. Let's talk about why I had a little bit of doubt in this trade. Okay, I didn't have. Okay, I did have a little bit of doubt in this trade. Not doubt that it wouldn't continue to the downside, but doubt about the entry because of the reason I explained right before this, or right before this, talking about the candle closure, and why I ended up targeting more profit. Oof. Okay, so SMT, we see that obviously we took out external, but right here, this is what I ended up talking about, man. We did not have a body closure above this previous wick, and I broke my rules there. Given, I knew the entry was clear, I knew the SMT was clear, and I knew it was high probability. I did not want to miss this trade. This to me was external to internal, very, very clear trade. Typically higher RR trades if you continue to hold for the day. Our final target did get hit, 1 of 4. So if I were running partials, I would have done that, but I don't do partials at all. Don't plan on it. Not at the moment. Maybe I'll look back and I'll be doing partials. I'm not sure. But anyways, I ended up being a little scuffed there, but I was willing to take that risk because I didn't want it to be like Friday. So I took the trade on the displacement candle right here with the clear change state delivery to the downside. And now, this is where I broke my rules. My target should have been 1 to 1.5 R. OTE of the trading day. Optimal trade entry. Optimal trade execution I should just call it that instead. OTA, optimal trade execution and entry would have been right here, displacement on the change state of delivery, targeting these internal lows. I didn't do that. I targeted these scuffed lows for a higher RR and higher profit because this wasn't the profit target I liked. This wasn't technical. This was emotional. I myself am admitting that right now. This was not technical, this was emotional. And I was finding a technical reason to justify that emotion. Yes, I know Lonnie broke his rules. I'm sorry. So for example, like one of the accounts ended up exiting right here. For another, the sim didn't exit till here. Price reversed. I was literally calling a reversal the entire time. Right as we took out these lows, we get a reverse. I was like, we're getting stopped out. We retraced down here. I was like, we're gonna get stopped out. Even when we came back right up here, I was like, we're gonna get stopped out. Price action continued to the downside, continuing to hold that bearish daily SMT. My analysis was correct. I knew it was correct. However, it was me trading against my draws after taking them that caused a little bit of doubt. So I learned my lesson. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. But yeah, grade of this trade, 7 out of 10. Maybe 6.5. Or grade in general, if I would have followed my rules, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Just the entry was a little, but reacted properly. If I would have gotten stopped out, would have got the re-entry to the downside. Fine, right? But us not having because originally we didn't have a clear draw. After this, it was just blank space, kind of just targeting here, and that was a crazy target. But even though we knew it would happen is daily, right? We took out external, but even then, this actual trade I'd have to rate it 6.5. I didn't perform to the best of my ability with my take profit. I knew where price would go, and I just extended my take profit a little bit more than that. That was my mistake. I make mistakes. I did that in order to justify my profit target and make more money. I'm sorry. I don't know. Well, I'm sorry to me. I'm not apologizing to you guys. You guys didn't make the mistake. But now let's talk about today. Why I ended up longing, because I was looking for shorts as well as longs. So starting off on the daily time frame, finally took out both daily highs on ES and NQ. Scaling down to the 4-hour. Nothing crazy. Nothing. I guess most people would acknowledge this fair value gap. Funny, as soon as I stopped using fair value gaps, I don't think you guys have seen me mention a fair value gap. Okay, you guys definitely have, because I just thought of a time where I did, but I don't ever really mention them. But I acknowledge them, but I don't really use them like as confluence for execution. But going down to the 15, I guess we could look at the hourly, because we had these external highs up here. You can see on ES and NQ we had this external highs. This is what I wanted to see get SMT'd off of for shorts. So you guys can start to see the trade idea. I was longing to these highs to see SMT short. No, I'm not shorting. If a short opportunity appears, no. But we ended up having these internal lows down here and here. Now, these were just lows that I ended up marking out. For you guys that are curious how I mark out my internal lows, literally I just mark out internal lows. Go here, line with markers. These are lows, these are lows, these are lows, these are lows. The wicks of those lows. It's pretty simple. Now, that doesn't mean you need to have a billion wicks or, lines on your screen. I sometimes do. I just remove them. Okay, no, I don't. These lows, these lows, these lows, these lows, you can SMT off of too. These lows, these lows, these highs. But going on to the 15-minute time frame, we had these lows we ended up SMTing off of. But what happened prior to this, right? Obviously, we see the SMT right here. This range right here, I want to talk about this range real quick. So this range is where we got even more confluence. I was looking to long up here at this garbage micro change state of delivery. Fortunately, I didn't, because I knew it was garbage. And I wanted to see price actually continue lower. So we were stuck within this range. Ended up taking out these lows on NQ, fell to on ES. So that was a double SMT confluence. Ended up continuing to the downside. Once we SMT'd off of those lows, micro change of state of delivery to the upside. Regular change of state of delivery would have been on this displacement candle, which is where I got my skilled in trade position. Did I say that already? But yeah, I got my skilled in trade position there. It's confluence. Look to target these highs. I kind of under risked, I'm not going to lie, so that's why I ended up scaling in. This originally was more so like 1 to 1 to 3R, but I just put it at the average out of the scaled position, so 1 to 2.4. Completely fine. Now, I was looking for shorts. This was before news data release. Um, I was, like I already said, I was looking for shorts off of these highs, but I did have one confluence that would have maybe had gotten me out of the trade before its time. Now you guys know I'm a TPSL kind of guy, but this one confluence was the higher time from SMT. If we would have been within this trade, let's say maybe around here, right, and ES had taken external highs, I'm looking for shorts. I'm thinking of shorts, so that high key would have probably been my opposing confluence to get out of the trade. Now, I never have opposing confluences. You guys never have seen me talk about opposing confluence and me getting out of actually exiting the trade. Because I tell you guys all the time, TP or SL. But this is one of those times where we're at all-time highs. We're not quite sure what can happen. So I just want to take precaution. But knowing me, and if you guys know me enough, we all know I wouldn't have exited. I would have been able, like, hey, I want to see what happens. Because I'm more so, I want to see what happens kind of guy than rather like, oh, I got stopped out kind of guy. I'd rather see what happens, like 9 times out of 10. But that was my main opposing confluence. So I ended up basically longing to these highs to see a bearish SMT form, which we are still SMTing. By the way, just no clear entry. Maybe entry on ES, change state of delivery to downside. I don't know. But yeah, that was today's trade. If you want to think of it like this, think of it as a micro time frame power of 3: accumulation, manipulation, distribution. But yep, those are the two trades. This was, we'll just call it 3R. So 3R and 2.3R. So we got around 5.3R on the trading week. I'm more than fine not trading tomorrow. I need to. I'm not sure whether or not I'll pay for these activation fees now or wait a bit. But yeah, those were the two trades I ended up passing this account. No, I didn't full port this for anybody curious, because you guys know typically I like to full port my accounts. Oh, and by the way, if we end up taking out external here, we can't look to short until we end up forming internal. There's so much stuff I haven't put you guys on to, because I need to create my mentorship. So because I'm going broke, right? That's what everyone else does. $3,000 mentorship, like 100 spots, make $300,000, buy a Lambo, sell more mentorship. But yeah, I didn't end up full porting these accounts mainly because I'm broke and I didn't want to full port them, because I mean I knew I wouldn't lose them, but I knew I wouldn't lose them if I didn't full port them, so I didn't full port them. Makes sense? First trade. This was 1 to 3 up. Leave me alone, man. I'm gonna go play Fortnite now. Okay, I'm gonna go journal today and yesterday, and then I'm gonna hit my macro. No, then I'm. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh, I need to edit my day in the life log. Another one.